If you are currently facing foreclosure right now, you need to stop what you're doing and watch this video, because I'm going to give you some tips on how you can slow down the process or potentially stop it altogether. Yes, so if you don't know who I am, my name is Keyana Lawson. I have been a licensed real estate agent in the Metro Atlanta market since about 2005 is when I got licensed. And I know a little something about foreclosures and the real estate process and all of that because I am a certified short sale specialist. So I've gone through the training so that I can help clients, and I have helped clients in the past navigate the foreclosure process. So let's get to it. So your home is in foreclosure and you're like, what do I do? What we're going to talk about is what you're not going to do first. You're not going to ignore the phone calls, the letters from the bank. You need to stay in communication with the bank so that they understand what your financial situation is, what is going on, so that they can offer you some alternatives to stop the foreclosure process. Some of those alternatives can be a loan modification. And what this does is it basically pauses your payments momentarily while your mortgage company comes up with a plan based off of your current financial position to see what is a manageable mortgage payment for you. Once the mortgage company determines what that manageable mortgage payment looks like, they will put you on what they call a trial payment plan. It'll be a trial payment term. Generally, it's about 3 to 4 payments that you're going to make under that new mortgage payment number that they've determined should be feasible for you with your current financial situation. And as long as you make all of those payments on time, so if your mortgage payment is due on the 1st, ideally you want to have those trial payments made on the 1st, but I do believe they still will give you that grace period up until the 15th to have that payment made before they say that you have essentially forfeited the trial because your payment is late. But with your mortgage company, please confirm if they will still give you that grace period. If not, you need to make sure those trial payments are made on the 1st of the month. If and when you successfully complete the trial payment plan, then that's when you will get back into the groove of making your normal payments. Any of those delinquent payments that you had missed previously will be re-added to the back of your loan term. So basically, essentially your loan term is going to reset. So say you have a 30-year mortgage and your mortgage was you are down to the 25th year of the mortgage. Once they basically, it's almost like a refinance, your interest rate typically is not altered. So you'll maintain your same interest rate, but make sure that you ask that question if you are going through a modification, because some modifications will alter your interest rate and you need to be aware of that. You need to be aware if your interest rate is going to significantly go up or if it's going to stay the same. But nonetheless, you want to make sure that you understand the parameters surrounding this modification, because once you're back into the groove of making the payments, you still want to maintain those payments. You want to try as hard as you can not to get back in a position when you're late again, because now you would have to recycle through this process all over again. So that's a modification. Some banks offer something called a forbearance. If you have student loans, then you're familiar with what the forbearance process is or what that is just in general. Mortgage companies also offer that. Say you've lost your job, you got laid off from your job. You can contact your bank and let them know what's going on, and generally they will offer you a forbearance while you navigate this process of trying to find another job. The only thing that you need to be mindful of with a forbearance is that once that forbearance ends, a lot of mortgage companies are going to want those payments that were paused paid immediately upon the removal of that forbearance. So you need to make sure you ask them the correct questions about the forbearance process. Specifically ask them, once the payments are no longer paused, when will I have to make the back payments? Do I have to make a lump sum payment, or will you just add those missed payments on the back end of my loan term? You need to be clear on that. Those are very specific questions that you need to ask so that you don't get caught up in a forbearance and you get out of it and they're like, yeah, we need our money right now. And you're like, well, I don't have $15,000, $20,000 just to give you right now. If I had it, I would have been paying the mortgage. So be very clear on what the terms are before you enter into it. If those are not options for you with your mortgage company, then you need to look into local organizations that help people that are behind on your mortgage. You need to pick up the phone. I know in Georgia, we have the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. Look for something like that in your specific state or in your county. These organizations have money that will help you get out of foreclosure. They will help you get caught up on your mortgage payments as long as you qualify for it. Some of these programs, you cannot be in active bankruptcy to utilize these programs. So do your research on them so that you understand completely how they can benefit you. And if they can't benefit you, ask them, can they refer you out to any other organizations that are out there that may be able to assist? And a lot of times they will be able to give you some information on other organizations that may be a better fit for your situation. Now, outside of local help, your last resort, well, I'm not even going to say last resort, but another option, a third option that you can consider is bankruptcy. If you feel that it's necessary to file bankruptcy, bankruptcy will pause the foreclosure proceedings as long as the foreclosure proceedings are not too far gone in the process. So you need to consider also a bankruptcy. Don't just sit and let the process happen and then boom, you've lost your house. Please don't do that. I know a lot of you guys that are in these financial situations where you don't have the income to be able to pay your mortgage like you normally have in the past years. You don't want to lose your home or even lose access to that equity. If you have equity in your home, if you have equity and your credit is not too shot, which I know if you're in foreclosure, it's likely your credit has already been impacted. But this is for people that feel like you are teetering on the verge of getting in a position to miss payments. Consider doing a refi. Talk to a mortgage broker or a loan officer to see what your options are with doing a cash out refi so that you can pull out cash, pay off credit card debt so that you can lessen the amount of your money that your output, your financial output, so that you can focus on the mortgage. Because a lot of what people are experiencing is a lot of people are carrying a lot of credit card debt, and those monthly minimums are impacting your survival, your day-to-day, because you're juggling so much: credit card debt, student loan debt, car payments, mortgage, and just normal living things. So you want to even consider a cash out refi if your credit is still enough intact that you can get qualified for a cash out refinance, and you can use that money to consolidate some debt or pay off a car note if that's something that will free up an extra $700 in your pocket monthly so that you can maintain your normal bills. Those are all of the tips that I have so far. If y'all have questions, if you are facing foreclosure or you know someone facing foreclosure, feel free to drop it in comments and ask me a question. If you don't feel comfortable dropping your question in the comments, don't hesitate to send me a private message and I'll answer as best as I can. If you're in another state and I feel like I don't want to touch answering specific questions for certain states, I can definitely get you connected with a real estate professional in your city, in your state, that is more than capable of answering your questions. But please don't allow your homes to go into foreclosure. There are options. Worst case scenario, put the house on the market. Put the house on the market. Ask your bank to do a short sale. Ask your bank to approve you for a short sale. If they approve you for a short sale, that generally will also stop the foreclosure process because they know that you are actively trying to sell the home. But there is no reason to lose the home and at least not get the equity out of the home, or at least pause the process so that you can do a reset and reevaluate how you can get back on track with your home. Again, y'all drop your questions in the comments or send me a private message if it gets a little too personal for you so that we can talk about it. Let's talk about it in the comments.